Hello and welcome back to another episode of the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Podcast. My name is Andrew Laird, Senior Soccer Editor of RotoWire. Joining us, what are we on? Friday, March 12th by Jordan Cooper to talk about Saturday's all-day Premier League slate. Jordan, Man City, big favorite, implied goal total not that high. It's kind of a weird slate, at least from that respect.
Well, they had the highest total, but
yeah,
it's only 2 3/4. They're a minus 279 current favorite at Fulham.
Mm-hmm.
Then Everton's a minus 109 home favorite against Burnley. That's a 2 1/4 total. And then we got the thrilling first game of Crystal Palace plus 130 home favorite against West Brom with a total that's
-4.
Barely 2. Barely 2. I'm going to make the case that although Man City are the biggest favorite on the slate, that you only need to play one player.
I agree, but maybe I'll play devil's advocate as we move on.
Okay, so you're very quizzical. Like, agree?
I agree.
Okay, you agree. Okay.
It was more, I was trying to think quickly of like no, this is why, but like I agreed. And so now I have to like walk through it. I think weirdly, if you maybe a few weeks ago or whatever, like I think we would have looked at this and be like, oh, it's an absolute Man City stomp. Like, let's get as much as possible. But like Fulham have been pretty good. I mean, Man City have been really good too, but like odds wise, there's really no need to like jam in as much Man City as possible.
Right. We even take a look at the anytime goal scorer odds.
Yeah.
Like there's no one above even money.
Yep.
I mean, you got Jesus at plus 155, Gundogan at plus 163, Sterling at plus 163,
yeah,
De Bruyne plus 185, Mahrez plus 185, Foden plus 200. Like, and they're all expensive. So
yeah.
it's like yeah, you'll need a goal to get value out of any of these guys, but we have forwards that have floors that you could play that aren't Man City. I mean, I think that's the question on the slate, because we always get into the realm of there not really being cheap forwards to do the dinky do.
Yep.
So you're probably going to pay somewhat at forward, and the question comes in: is that somewhat going to be a Man City player, or other people? But I think if you have to rely on Man City to score goals to make value, I almost prefer the other guys.
Yeah, the way I looked at it is we have noticed over the past few weeks that we talk about how like Man City is expensive and we don't really get decent price breaks if we don't play them. You're like, oh, I'm going to prioritize floor, and the ceilings aren't nearly as high. But like when you have to pay $9,500 for Mahrez or $9,300 for Dwight McNeil, you're just like, why am I even playing McNeil? But this slate, those guys are the McNeil type guys are cheaper, and Man City's implied goal total is not so high that you're like, no, I'm going to play the expectation that they score 5 goals, and so that's why I'm going to play those guys. Like you actually get some salary savings by not playing them.
Right, because you have Mahrez here at 10-1, Sterling at 8-2, Jesus at 8,000, Bernardo Silva, if he happens to start, 6,700. But I mean, I'm looking at guys like I'm throwing out Richarlison at 8,700.
Agreed.
I'm not going to play him. James is out.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if he's officially out, but
he's out.
I mean, he should be. Oh, he's officially out.
Yep.
Ashley Barnes, even if he was in, I wouldn't pay 7,500 for him. Lookman, 7,400 against Man City. I'm not thrilled about. And then we get into the range of where I'm looking to play.
Yep.
We're basically McNeil at 7,200, and then the Crystal Palace guys. I think Zaha at 7,300 is not bad as a cash play.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Townsend first.
Well, I mean, obviously, I would go to Townsend first because you rarely ever see me play Zaha in cash games. But I mean, but even if you go down to Easy E at 5,900, I'm lumping in the Crystal Palace guys kind of together. And Zaha obviously has higher upside than Townsend. So I mean, and enough of a floor. I mean, it's more through shots and fouls drawn than crossing. But I mean, Crystal Palace with Zaha is a much better team
for sure.
And Zaha, if he's healthy, will play 90.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Townsend could come out. I mean, but Zaha, I'm not talking up Zaha. Most likely, I would probably play Townsend over Zaha. But when the difference in price is only 300, we were talking about 8,500 Zaha versus 7,000 Townsend. Then I'm just saying, yeah, you play Townsend.
Yeah.
But I would have no problem playing Zaha at home against West Brom at 7,300.
Yeah, I think the important caveat here is we like the Crystal Palace forwards, but you don't play Benteke in cash.
No, that's not the forwards.
Right, just to be clear on that.
The wide forwards.
Yeah.
Right? Because who else is there? I mean, like, literally, like, outside of that, like, you may not even get a good Munson to even start.
Right.
At 5,700. Like, he would be okay, even if he did. I mean, I don't think Vidra is going to start because he's coming off of an injury.
Yep.
So he's still Jay Rodriguez is 6,200. I'm not all that thrilled about that.
Or Chris
Caballero
Wood
is against Man City. I'm not going to do that. So, like, who do I play?
Would you definitely play Aguero if we knew he was starting?
At 6,900?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a definite, but I mean, yeah, he would look good. Yeah.
I think if he was in the first game, he'd be really popular.
Right. But I mean, it's $1,100 difference between Jesus and Aguero. And like, I'm not all that thrilled about playing Jesus at 80,000. So like,
that's what I was going to say. Like, I don't want that at all.
Right. But the $1,100 savings, where is it going towards? Like, I don't know if the $1,100 is going to matter all that much.
I just think it's Aguero at 6,900 is actually a good play. Like, I think you could play him in cash with the shot expectation at 6,900. That his floor is fairly similar to McNeil or Townsend. Like, I think it's realistic.
No, I agree with that.
But we have no idea if he's going to play.
Right, no idea if he's going to play, and it's not. If Aguero was like 4,500,
well,
then I'd be like, okay, now we take the shot or whatever. But like 6,900, he's in and got to jam him into all your lineups. Like, it's not to that level.
Correct. The one guy who I think I considered in cash, he absolutely makes much more sense in GPP, but I don't think it's nuts to play Dominic Calvert-Lewin in cash.
It's not nuts. No, I agree with you. It's not nuts.
It feels nuts just talking about it, but his price against Burnley, I think it's fine.
Right. I mean, he has a similar enough goal odds. I mean, if we take a look,
they're the highest on the slate if you throw out Aguero.
Right. Yeah. Plus 138, but it's still plus 138.
Sure.
We're not talking about minus 150, minus 200 or anything.
Yep.
But no, in comparison, the price wise, he's 6,600, and the guys that have less of a chance of scoring a goal for Man City are 2,000 more expensive.
Right. Exactly.
More expensive.
Yep.
So like that's where it comes down to. Like, I'm going to play Sterling at 8,200. It's like, why not just play Calvert-Lewin at 6,600? I mean, to me, maybe the Man City guys have slightly higher floors, but not significantly enough so for the 1,400, 2,000.
Right, yeah, not for 2,000.
Right.
I think Eze's a trap.
He's always a trap.
But now he's priced much lower than Townsend or Zaha or McNeil. And I think people are like, oh, I'll take that salary. I think it's a trap.
Okay. But I mean, he's viable.
Sure.
Okay. Well, he's viable.
I think he's less viable than the others.
Well, yeah, would you rather play Eazy-E or Benteke?
I think I'd rather play Calvert-Lewin.
Okay. Well, there. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I get it. At midfield, you just plug in KDB and you build your lineup around that?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by I think it's quite likely that they'll be the only Man City player in your lineup.
Agreed.
And truthfully, I think he's underpriced.
If Matheus Pereira is 9,100, De Bruyne should be like 25.
Are you going to? Is there any way to play Pereira at 9,100?
No.
But you're the biggest Pereira guy.
Yeah,
I never
I
play this guy.
I play him all the time.
He never fits into my lineups. There's always some other guy there, then some other construction I want to make. It's not like I'm against Pereira, but how do you build a KDB Pereira lineup? I mean, you can build it, but you're going to be double punting a defense. But I don't think you double.
That's
punt
not the way. Yeah, Pereira is priced high enough where you're prioritizing him, and I think that's a mistake.
Right. But outside of that, outside of De Bruyne and Pereira, like, midfield is a wasteland. I mean, in the mid-range.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely your roster construction is going to be KDB and 2 cheaper midfielders.
Yep. Agreed.
And going down the list of these cheaper midfielders, I mean, can you make a case for Conor Gallagher at 6,400?
No way.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could make a case. It'll be a bad case.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're skipping Sigurdsson now. You don't play Sigurdsson?
I don't even know if he's going to play. He has a knock.
Yeah, but if he did, if he did. I hope he doesn't.
I'd rather he doesn't, so I don't have to make that decision.
Right. Well,
but most likely, no. Most likely, I don't play him.
So the Sigurdsson decision is less about Sigurdsson and more about Lucas Digne, who we'll talk about briefly. But, like,
right.
That's why I don't want Sigurdsson to play. Not because I'm like, oh, I'll play Sigurdsson. Like,
you just rather just lock in Lucas Digne and just not even worry about it.
Yes.
Right. But he's questionable. So, I mean, it's the second game. And even if he was in, like, at 76, you could play him. I don't even think it's necessary. I think I'd still rather play Dean over him, even if they both play.
I was going to say, you're basically picking him over Digne, which I think is a mistake on this slate.
Right. You have one slot left, and Ashley Westwood's there. It's 5,200.
Would you play Westwood and McNeil?
Yeah, why not? It's a 3-game slate. Who cares?
Westwood's the reason I was hesitant on McNeil.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd never play Westwood.
Yeah.
The 2 cheap midfielders that I was playing in my lineup wasn't even Westwood.
And
you're on.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
I think Westwood's fine. That's why I said for 5,200, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine. But there's actually 2 midfielders that are cheaper that I'd rather play.
This comes the week after I played João Moutinho and you didn't.
Right, and he did well, right?
He was great.
Right, and I didn't. Right,
yeah.
Of course.
I think Ferran Torres would be like 90% owned if we knew he was starting.
Right, and he's midfield only.
Yeah.
At 5,500, but I don't expect him to start.
No, I mean you're struggling if he doesn't.
Right.
I mean, I guess you're not struggling that much. You're just not getting an attacking player.
So who do you think the 2 cheap midfielders that I'm looking at?
Is one of them Milivojevic?
Yes.
All right.
4,000. Why not? Set pieces? Let's give it to me.
Yeah, I think he took most of those after Eze went off last week.
It's 4,000.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Who's the other one?
Phillips?
Yeah, right underneath him.
Yeah.
3,900. He's not going to play 90, but he's going to play out wide. He's going to cross the ball a ton. He may not take many set pieces, if any, with Pereira on the field, but he's 3,900.
I think you're overestimating his crosses.
Overestimating his crosses? Why? They're playing Crystal Palace.
Yeah. I mean, he's had 6 in his last 3 starts.
He's had 2 shots. Shot on goal, cross. He's active enough. I mean, look, 6 points.
Yeah.
When he starts. 6 points. Give me 6 points for 3,900. What's wrong with that?
Because you're getting 10 points. You're getting 12 points from 7,900 with him and Milivojevic.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I'll take that. That's a goal. Out of a $7,900 player, give me a goal. Okay, what's wrong with that?
Because other people have an extra roster spot to make up for.
Well, I'm going to make it up a goalkeeper.
Oh.
Right, I'm just going to choose the right
Okay.
goalkeeper.
Okay.
I'll make it up there.
There we go.
Right.
I think if he starts, I think Iwobi outscores both of those guys.
Okay, but if he starts,
Yeah.
we don't know that.
Yeah, but we'll know it for that game.
Yes.
Like
No,
Phillips.
I prefer Iwobi over. He's in that range.
But I'm saying Phillips, you're using the spot immediately.
Right. So do I save it for Iwobi?
Or anybody else.
I do save it for Iwobi.
I just don't think Matt Phillips is like a player you need to, because you're like prioritizing him. We talk about opportunity cost. There it is.
And then what happens if he puts up 15 points?
If Phillips does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first time for everything, man.
But I think that's the construction. I'm just going along with
Agreed.
KDB plus two of these guys. If one of them is Westwood, then that's fine. That means you're punting in one defender spot, which is okay.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if the 1100 is necessary to get Westwood.
Yeah,
I think it's close. It's fine.
That's fine.
Is there anyone else now? Is Robbie Brady going to start?
It doesn't matter.
You know, we're past the point that Robbie Brady is even in consideration anymore.
Yeah, it's sad days, but yeah. But like, you're not going to play Loftus-Cheek against Man City.
Not against Man City. No, I'm not looking to play anyone on Fulham.
Right. No, I don't think there's anybody else reasonable.
Right, because even the defensive midfielders for Man City, like Rodrigo, is 4,600.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
You're doing it because you mistakenly played Ferran Torres and then he's not starting.
I guess so, and then leaving 900 on the table.
Right.
So a defender, it's Lucas Digne or bust, right?
Yep.
You play him, plug him in for 6,800, and then your second defender could be anyone. Right? Is there anyone else? I mean, is Cancelo necessary on this slate for 6,100? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think any of these guys are. I think you could play a center. I think you could punt.
Like Ruben Diaz is 3,800.
Well, who?
Ruben Diaz. Like,
That's expensive.
get your clean sheets and just move on.
And play Ruben Diaz? Why don't you go even further down? Why don't you just go and say, screw it, do what you do. Play one of the West Brom. Play Semi Ajayi so Kyle Bartley gets a goal.
I just think Diaz has decent clean sheet odd. Like, I do that on slates where there's no obvious one. Like, no obvious clean sheets, but that's fine. I'll never stop anybody from playing Semi Ajayi.
Right. But is there a need to play guys like Holgate or Van Aanholt or Lowton, like these 4K guys? Like, you're paying an extra 1,000 for what? For an extra point in floor, maybe?
I think if you're looking at someone like Loughton or Holgate, just go to Zinchenko if he starts.
If he's in, right. We don't know that.
Right. But you can get Kyle Walker if not. Like, I think you're better off with the Man City guys. Okay. Like, I don't think it's worth playing Van Aanholt or Furlong and not wasting, but you're using up a, $4,400 in the first game. Like, I don't think that's necessary.
Right. And also, if you leave a spot open in the defender spot and you're playing KDB, who's most likely going to be very chalky, you at least give yourself a 2v2.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, oh, you're behind, so you're going to switch, Ruben Diaz and Kevin De Bruyne to, like, Cancelo and Sterling or something, like something like that, and try to make up ground. So I think there's value in leaving that defender spot open for the third game. If you have that type of build. If you have a third man, if you're playing, Sterling or Mahrez, Jesus, something, and KDB, then you obviously have more leeway to do 2v2s. But if you're just playing KDB, no, I would agree with you. Like, none of these other defenders are worth, like, filling up the spot and not having the optionality because what's the even if you're playing John Stones for 4,100, which seems overpriced, like, what's really the difference between him and Holgate or Walker or any of these guys in that range?
Yeah.
Joel Ward. Why am I locking up Joel Ward at 3,700 early? For what? For what purpose?
Yeah. I think you should also not overlook that Man City plays Champions League on Tuesday. So like De Bruyne on the bench isn't the absolute craziest thing. And if you then go down from De Bruyne to Foden, if you have a Man City center back now that's Zinchenko, or if you were playing Areola, now you can play Ederson. Like, I think you just want as much flexibility as you can for that. That instead of taking up a defender spot at 4K in the first game.
For no reason. Right. I need to get James Tarkowski in.
Right.
I mean, no one says that.
Excuse me. Yeah. Would you play Kieran Gibbs 3,500 first game?
No.
No.
You don't even play him at 3,500. We weren't playing him at 2,500.
He's not going to play anyway. So you're not playing Westwood. You're playing two cheaper midfielders so you can play Ederson?
No. No, I would still be paying down.
Oh, I thought you said something about paying up for goalkeeper before.
Oh. No, I'm gonna pick whichever. I'm gonna pick Johnstone or Pope, and whichever one. One of them is gonna screw me, no matter which one I pick. Right. I would have to assume that they're going to be the popular ones rather than play Areola. But truthfully, if you're just playing KDB, you could play Areola just fine, especially with Man City having a goal. It's an under 3 total for a Man City game.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't put it past people to play Areola, no problem.
But I think you're going to pay down. You're going to be Johnstone, Pope, Areola.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point in paying? If you're going to pay up, you're not going to for Pickford or Guaita. You're just going to play Ederson at 5,900.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's a fine slate to play Ederson. Like, I think it's okay if he's your second Man City guy.
Sure.
Instead of paying 9,000 for Sterling.
Right.
Like Ederson's path.
You could use that as a block. A lot of times, like if you're concerned about, I'm not playing, the higher, if Aguero's in and he's going to be owned and you can't get him, it's like, well, most likely if he scores and the Man City wins, so like you're getting 5 points from at least a win from the goalkeeper, so you're like mitigating someone scoring a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like all of the Man City guys' lowest possible ceiling is 12, right? Like they take one shot, they score, and like that's it.
Right.
And Ederson could do that in a win clean sheet.
Right.
Ish.
But I don't think the Man City players are going to be owned enough. I think they're going to be owned.
I don't think so either.
I think KDB is going to be high owned, and then all the other Man City players will just be spread out owners. It'll be, some lineups will have Sterling, some lineups will have Jesus, some lineups will have Mahrez, whoever's starting in that front three, Foden, who knows? It'll be spread out enough. It won't be like we won't have 40% Raheem Sterling.
Right, yes.
It'll be 18% because 18% goes to the other guy and then the other guy. I mean, they'll be the highest owned team, but outside of KDB, it'll be spread out enough. So even if GPPs, if you wanted to stack Man City, I think you could do so in a non-chalky way. If you don't want, let's say you play Man City and you don't play KDB, you just play two of their frontline players, Sterling, Jesus, and just hope KDB doesn't get on the score sheet. Like, to me, that's the natural way of still playing Man City and being different in GPPs.
Right.
Or you play Benteke. That's what you do. You play Benteke.
Mm-hmm.
Play all the guys that we would never play. You play Richarlison, Benteke,
Van Aanholt. Just stack the first game.
Right, that's right. Just stack the first game. Matt Phillips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I don't know where you could possibly go wrong.
Well, other than the fact that the total of that game is garbage. But we've seen that before, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the total of 1.5. 7 goals.
Yeah.
Total of 4. 0-0.
Yeah. 0.
Welcome to soccer.
So you think it's better for tournaments to stack Man City without De Bruyne than to just ignore that game completely?
I think both are viable. I think both are contrarian.
Yeah.
Either don't play Man City at all. Play Areola.
Yeah.
Like, to me, if you're not playing any Man City in that type of play Areola, because you want to make it so that Man City don't score goals. So Areola, at the cheapest goalkeeper, is going to put up a pretty good score. Or you play 2 Man City players, 3 Man City players that aren't KDB, and obviously you don't play Areola in that lineup.
Right.
You do that. You know what the real question is, though, Andrew? Does what happens in the games on Saturday affect the players' so rare prices?
I don't think there are any so rare players on this slate.
How are there not?
Trying to think if anybody snuck in from another league, but I don't see.
You can't have Premier League players on so rare?
West Ham 2 years ago and Liverpool this year are the only Premier League teams on the platform.
Why?
Because they have to have licensing agreements with each team, and the Premier League only allows one new one per year.
That's stupid.
It's a money reason. So guys who like transfer into the Premier League from a league that they cover count. So like there are a bunch of Leandro Trossard cards because he came from wherever he came from. Genk, Gent, one of them. So you can play him. But yeah, there are not that many Premier League players on So Rare.
Oh, but West Ham though, right?
West Ham was added 2 years ago, but it was only that season. And then this year was Liverpool.
So can I get a Jack Wilshere So Rare?
Yes, you can.
Can I get it for like 0.0001 Ethereum?
I'm going to look at it right now. I bet it's $8,000, but let me double check. The other thing is that it's a Jack Wilshere West Ham card, but he plays for Bournemouth now, but they count the stats from Bournemouth. Let me see. The cheapest Jack Wilshere card you can get right now, if you just bought it, is $350.
I'm not that stupid. Come on. $350 for Jack Wilshere?
Yeah. 0.199 Ethereum
rostering him
for
for
you, since that's how you think
for
of prices.
$350 in actual DFS.
$350.
How is that possible? What's going on there? What's going on with this stuff?
I'm trying to see what the last one sold for.
Did you miss a decimal point?
No.
$3.50?
Oh, this one went 8 hours ago. How much do you think the one that went 8 hours ago sold for?
Too much, whatever it is.
I think he's hurt. Stop me if you've heard that before. Let's see. The last one went for 0.22 Ethereum. Wow. So what is that?
That's like $320.
$380, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So actually, the one that you can buy now is a steal at $350.
It's a steal. Oh, yeah. Wow. But I couldn't. Who else can I can't get contact Cleverly.
No Cleverly. He's not even in the Premier League anymore, anyway.
No, but it's whatever. It's these garbage, cheap English midfielders that Ashley Westwood, right? I can get him.
You know who I think you can? Let me double check.
I mean, it's not like I'm getting any of these.
No. You can get Mark Noble.
Oh no, Evaldo has all of them.
I think I told him once that he had to buy one. I don't know if he actually ended up doing it. But yeah, Mark Noble available for you.
Is there any MLS so rare?
They have almost the entire MLS, yes.
But the current MLS. So like Skylar doesn't have all the Wandos.
Yes. They have a deal with the Players Association.
Does Wando still play?
Wando still plays.
Oh, wow.
But so the deal that they have with MLS is with the Players Association. And I don't think Wando is actually a member of the Players Association. You're allowed to opt out. I think he does it because of his very expensive image rights. And so he doesn't want to give those up.
Oh, okay.
So there's no Wando card.
Oh.
Yet. He'll see the light. If anybody has any follow-up for Jordan, you can find him on Twitter at BlenderHead. That is BlenderHD. You can find all of his stuff over at theoryofdfs.com, as well as youtube.com/Jordan Cooper. You can find me on Twitter at RotoWire Andrew, as well as in the RotoWire Discord chat, which is open for all subscribers. Just go to rotowire.com/chat to join there. If you are not a RotoWire subscriber and would like to try us out for free for 10 days, no credit card required, just go to rotowire.com/pod. That's POD. Get you access to all of the sports we cover, as well as that Discord chat. If you're watching on YouTube, if you could please hit the like button below. Feel free to subscribe to all of the RotoWire videos. And if you are listening to the regular audio podcast, if you could please just rate and review wherever you listen. Jordan, thank you for that, and good luck on Saturday.